Hi everyone, welcome back with a new topic called projectile motion. So just before discussing what is meant by projectile motion, so let me show you something. Okay, I have a ball with me, and now just think about I am throwing this ball upward. You may be already learned about this topic, that is a vertical motion under gravity. So what I want to explain in this case here, when I am throwing a ball upward, in which direction I am giving the initial velocity? Initial velocity which I am providing upward direction. That means in this case, when the ball is going upward as well as when it's coming downward, the velocity is acting only in one direction, that is vertically downward or vertically upward. But think about other example. Just think about other example. This is a ball. Now this ball I am now giving an initial velocity like this. Okay, I'm just giving an initial velocity like this. How the ball will go now here? If I am giving the initial velocity in this direction, whether the ball will go in that direction infinity? No way. So here if I am throwing this ball, you can see here what is the direction of motion of the ball here. The ball will go in this direction. After some time the ball comes in a parabolic manner. So in this case, the movement of this ball or the motion of this ball can be said as what? Projectile motion. So now let's discuss about what is meant by projectile motion. Okay. First of all, I have shown here this example. In this case, the velocity was acting only in one direction, correct? But in this case, even though you are providing the velocity in this direction, that velocity is having component along x-axis as well as y-axis. That means instead of one component of velocity in projectile motion, there is a two component of velocities. The one is along x-axis and other one is along what? Y-axis. So projectile motion is a two-dimension motion. Now let's discuss in detail what is meant by projectile motion. Imagine this is the surface, okay? An object is projected with an initial velocity u. Say it as this is the direction of u. The initial velocity is u we have considered here. Now, the projectile, that means the object which one we are throwing. The object will now go like this. You can see the object will now go like this and it will almost, you can see the shape of the motion or the trajectory is what? A parabolic shape. And this is called what? Projectile motion. So as you already know, few examples regarding this projectile motion, correct? That is the shot put, the movement of shot put, discus throw and javelin throw, etc. Correct? So just an example if you take it. When a person is throwing in shot put, how the person is giving an initial velocity? The person is giving an initial velocity in an inclined manner. It doesn't mean that object will go in that direction, right? The object will move in this direction for some time. After that, the object now start moving in a parabolic shape. Correct? And this type of motions are called what? Projectile motion. Here, the initial velocity u in an inclined manner, we can say that it is making an angle theta with the x-axis. Now let's draw the axis here. One is x-axis, so we have already marked here x-axis, and here you can see here this is the y-axis. So when the object is thrown with an initial velocity u, that u value can be resolved into two components. You can see the u value can be resolved into two components. One, there will be a projection along x-axis. For u, there is a projection along x-axis, and for u, there is a projection along what? Y-axis. This is called, you can see here, this is called the horizontal component of velocity. Horizontal component of velocity, and you can see here this is called what? Vertical component of velocity. Here what is ux stand for? We can write here what? U cos theta. Okay, u cos theta. Same way you can see here uy, that is a vertical component. You can calculate from this triangle, that is sine theta, right? So uy is equal to what? U sine theta. So these are the two components of initial velocity along x-axis and other one is what? Along y-axis. Now imagine when the object is now going up, you can see here exactly at this point it will reach the maximum height. So in this diagram we can mark it as this is the height is maximum and we can say it as that is the maximum height. I'm marking it as capital letter H. Now, as you already mentioned about while we are throwing a shot put or discus throw, who will get the first prize? Those who are throwing the object in such a way that there is a maximum horizontal distance is covering, right? Here the horizontal distance in this diagram you can see here from the origin O to the point where the object is now falling, and that distance, that is called what, horizontal distance, and we use to represent what, the maximum range of the projectile. Maximum range of the projectile. Okay. Next one, when you are throwing this object from the O, right, from the O, it will be projected and it will be in the air for some time. Okay, from the point of projection till the object reached at the ground, the object is in the air. Thus, that much time is in the air. There we can mark one point is here called what? That is called time of flight. From O to the maximum highest point, this point, what is the time taken here? We can say it as a time as what? Time of ascent. From maximum height to till the point the object will reach at the ground, we can say it as what? Time of descent. Time of ascent and time of descent. Where what is a time of flight? That is a total time the projectile was in the air, right? So there we can write here what? Time of ascent plus time of descent. Time of ascent plus time of descent, that is called what? Total time of flight. Now let's discuss in detail one by one. When the object is thrown from the point O, object is reaching at the highest point and from there it is coming down, right? Just imagine when the object is reached here, what is the direction of velocity? What is the direction of velocity? Definitely we can say that if you draw a tangent, okay? If you draw a tangent, that is the direction of velocity of the projectile at that point. If this is the direction of resultant velocity at that point, we can resolve this velocity into two components, okay? Into two components. One is the vertical component, other one is the horizontal component. The horizontal component we can mark it as V subscript x. Okay, Ux is the initial one, right? So maybe you can consider it as what? Vx. And what is the vertical component here? That you can mark it as what? Vy. So when the object is throwing upward, you can see the vertical component of velocity acting vertically upward, and horizontal component will be always horizontally, which will never change. The horizontal component of velocity will never change in a projectile motion. What is the reason? There is no force is acting along x-axis. There is no force is acting. But now you think about the vertical component of velocity. You can see here when it is going up, the vertical component of velocity is keep on decreasing. You see, it is keep on decreasing, and that time the horizontal component of velocity will never change. At the highest point, you can see what is the direction of velocity. The direction of velocity, once again, what is the direction? Tangent. Now, can you resolve this one? If you resolve this one, vertical component velocity, how you can draw here? The resultant velocity as well as the horizontal component of velocity here, it is same only. Here the vertical component of velocity, say it as Vy is equal to 0. That means at the highest point, the vertical component of velocity is equal to 0. Only the horizontal component of velocity exists. That means throughout the motion of this projectile motion, horizontal component of velocity will never change, but the vertical component of velocity, first of all, it is decreasing. From the highest point to this point, it is now increasing. The reason is that there is a force is acting vertically downward, and that force is called what? Force due to gravity. So there is a G value is acting vertically downward. That is the reason the object is falling in a parabolic shape. The object is moving in a parabolic shape, and this motion is called what? Projectile motion. Now if you draw at this point, what is the direction of velocity? And once again we are drawing the tangent here. Now it can be resolved into two components. One is vertical component, other one is what? Horizontal component. Here also the horizontal component of velocity will never change, but the vertical component of velocity here from this point onwards, what is happening here? It is increasing. Exactly at this point, what is the direction of resultant velocity? Exactly, once again the tangent, right? This is the tangent and this is the resultant velocity. Here also you can resolve into two components. Is along x-axis, that is the horizontal component, and along y-axis it is the vertical component. So at the point of contact, exactly at this point, the velocity will be same as the throwing velocity or the projecting velocity. So now let me conclude in this case here. The vertical component of velocity keep on changing because there is a force acting vertically downward, that is force due to gravity, where the horizontal component of velocity will never change because there is no force is acting horizontally. Okay, now we have to discuss few cases here. Let's prove that the projectile motion, the trajectory of the projectile motion is a parabola. Now just imagine after the projection, the body reached at this point. Okay, you say it as the point P. At the point P, what is the horizontal distance traveled when the object reached at the point P? You can mark here from the y-axis or from the origin O. This is the horizontal distance traveled by the projectile when the object reached at the point P. Now, what is the vertical distance traveled here? Here you can mark it as the vertical distance traveled from the point P to the O, that is equal to y value. That is equal to y value. Now we have to find out what is the horizontal distance as well as what is the vertical distance traveled by the projectile. So first let's discuss about what is the horizontal distance traveled by the projectile. So the horizontal distance traveled, you can see here the horizontal distance. The horizontal distance traveled is equal to the horizontal velocity into time taken, correct? Distance is equal to speed into time, right? So horizontal distance is equal to the horizontal component of velocity, say it as ux, into time taken. X is equal to horizontal component of velocity, that is given the word u cos theta. So u cos theta into t. So you can use this equation for writing time taken to reach the projectile at the point P. T is equal to x divided by u cos theta. X divided by u cos theta. Now let's find out the vertical distance traveled by the projectile. Along vertical direction, definitely g value is acting. So in this case, we can use the equations of motion. So which equation of motion can be used to find the vertical distance? So we can use the formula here. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Maybe you will be having a doubt. Why we are not using this formula at this case? There is only one answer. Along horizontally or along x-axis there is no acceleration, no, because there is no force is acting, right? But in vertical direction there is a force is acting and there is an acceleration is there. What is that acceleration? G value. So here you can write here sy, uy and ay because you are talking about the vertical motion. Now what is the vertical distance? That is marked here what? Y. So you can write here y is equal to. Now, what is the initial velocity along vertical direction? What is the vertical direction here? U sine theta. Uy is equal to what? U sine theta into t. We have already marked here the t, right? T is equal to x divided by u cos theta. Now, plus half into ay. What is the ay value here? That is equal to acceleration vertically acting downward. That is equal to what? Minus g. So we can write the formula here what? Minus 1 by 2 into g into t square. Once again, how much time will be taking the projectile to reach the point P? At the same time, no. So we can write here what? X divided by u cos theta the whole square. That is y is equal to u cancel. Sin theta by cos theta, tan theta. So tan theta x. Okay, or x tan theta minus, now use this one, 1 by 2 g into x square divided by u cos theta all square, right? So it become what? U square into cos square theta. So we can write this equation as y is equal to x tan theta minus g divided by 2u square cos square theta into x square. If you compare this equation with a mathematical term, we can write this as in a general equation px minus q into x square. So here what is p here? P stand for tan theta. What is q stand for? Q stand for g divided by 2u square cos square theta. So this equation is a quadratic function of x. So what we can say here? We can say that what? The trajectory of this projectile is a parabola. So the first one we have proved here what? The trajectory of a projectile is a parabolic shape. Now let's calculate the time of flight. Okay, we have marked here capital letter T. The time of flight can be written as what? Time of ascent plus time of descent. Okay, so what is meant by time of flight? Time of flight means the total time where the projectile is in the air. Okay, that is equal to what? Time of ascent plus time of descent. That means from the point of projection till the object reach at the ground, the object is in the air only, right? So that much time is called what? Time of ascent. So in order to calculate the formula for time of ascent, you can use the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square. S is equal to ut plus half at square. So now let's think about this case here. Okay, this is the object. Object is now throwing. Now it is coming in this direction and it is reached at this point here. What is the vertical displacement? What is the vertical displacement? That is Sy. We can write as Sy. Here object is starting from the earth surface and it is reaching exactly at the earth surface. So what is the total displacement in this case? That is equal to 0. So here what is the displacement? Vertical displacement. So I can write here Sy, Uy and Ay. So what is Sy? Vertical displacement. Here it is equal to 0. Okay. Which is equal to, what is Uy? Vertical component of velocity, initial velocity Uy. Uy is equal to what? U sin theta. So we can say that U sin theta into T, right? Here what is the T here? We can say it as capital letter T. Now acceleration is minus g, right? So minus half into g into once again capital letter T square, because we are calculating what? Total time of flight. Therefore, we can write this equation as u sin theta into t is equal to half into g into t square. So here 1t here cancel. So what is the remaining equation here? 2u sin theta, right? 2u sin theta divided by g, which is equal to t. So this is the formula for calculating what? Time of flight. What is that? Time of flight. So time of flight is equal to time of ascent plus time of descent. That's another formula. Or the basic formula here what? T is equal to 2u sin theta divided by g value. Now how to calculate the time of ascent? Here time of ascent can be calculated using the formula V is equal to u plus at, the basic formula. Here when the object is thrown from the point O, reach at the highest point. So what is the final velocity at the point here? So we have to consider here in vertical motion. So we can write here Vy, Uy and Ay. So what is a Vy? When the object is reached at the exactly at the highest point, vertical component of velocity is equal to 0, right? So here we can write what? 0 is equal to, what is the initial velocity? Uy, that is equal to u sin theta. So u sin theta. Now Ay is what? Acceleration due to gravity, so it becomes minus g into t. What is t here? We are taking from O to this point, that is taken as what? Time of ascent. So we can write here gta is equal to u sin theta, right? So what is the time of ascent is equal to u sin theta divided by g. So time of ascent is equal to u sin theta by g. So what is the time of descent? Here time of ascent is equal to time of descent. if there is no friction is considered. Definitely we are not considering any friction in this case, okay? So time of ascent is equal to time of descent. So what is the equation become? Total time of flight is equal to what? Ta plus Td, that is u sine theta by g plus u sine theta by g. Once again you will be getting what? 2u sine theta divided by g value. Now let's discuss about the maximum height reached. Here what is meant by maximum height reached? Maximum height reached means the maximum vertical distance or maximum vertical displacement. So we can use the formula here. V square is equal to u square plus 2as, the basic formula, right? But we are taking about what vertical displacement, so we can write here Vy, Uy, Ay and Sy, that is vertical value. What is the vertical component of velocity exactly at the highest point? Vertical component of velocity is equal to 0. So we can write the formula 0 is equal to, what is Uy? Once again u sine theta all square. So u square sine square theta. Acceleration is minus, right? So we can write the minus 2g. Now what is Sy? The vertical displacement is taken as what? Capital H. So we can write this equation as 2gh is equal to u square sine square theta. So what is the basic formula for the maximum height? The maximum height can be written as h is equal to u square sine square theta divided by 2g. U square sine square theta divided by 2g. So this is the equation to calculate what? The maximum height of the projectile. Now let's discuss about the horizontal distance traveled by the projectile. What is the horizontal distance traveled by the projectile? And that is called what? Range. We have marked here what? Capital letter R. So in order to find the range, use the basic formula, that is speed is equal to distance by time, right? Or distance is equal to velocity or the speed into time. Here what is the distance we are going to consider? That is the horizontal range, correct? Horizontal range. So I can write here instead of d, the horizontal range r is equal to. Now what is the speed? So which component of velocity is responsible for the horizontal distance moved? That is the ux component, right? So what is the velocity or speed here? We can write here what? Ux into. Now how much time is taken by the projectile to move this horizontal distance? That is the capital letter T, total time now. So we can write here capital letter T. So what is the formula become? R is equal to, what is ux now? U cos theta. So we can write here u cos theta into time of flight. What is the time of flight? We have written the 2u sine theta divided by g. That is 2u sine theta divided by g. Correct? That means now you can see the equation here, R is equal to u into u square. We can write the formula as like this, 2 sine theta cos theta divided by g, correct? 2 sine theta cos theta divided by g. 2 sine a cos a is equal to sine 2a. The general equation you have already learned. 2 sine a cos a equal to sine 2a. So we can write this equation what? R is equal to u square sine 2 theta divided by g. R is equal to u square sine 2 theta divided by g. So this is the equation for what? The range, the horizontal distance traveled by the projectile, and that is called what? The range. So we have discussed already in the previous example who will get the first prize in a shot put competition. The person who is throwing the maximum distance horizontally. Maximum distance horizontally will get the first prize. So the basic formula here, R is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. So the maximum range can be attained if the person throw angle, this angle is almost 45 degree, almost 45 degree. If he throws with the angle 45 degree, what will happen here? 2 into 45, 90, sine 90, which is equal to 1. So what is equation become? R is equal to u square divided by g. R is equal to u square divided by g. Here R is, this is the maximum range formula. Maximum range formula when he is throwing with an angle what? Theta is equal to 45 degree. So we have discussed here 4 cases, correct? One is the trajectory of the projectile is a parabola we have proved. Next one we have discussed about the time of flight, then maximum height, and last one is about the range formula. So this is regarding about the projectile motion. I hope you understood this topic. Thank you all of you.